why John Cena will lose at WrestleMania 41. Yo, this title is wild, bro. Listen, I don't know what WrestleMania's been doing lately. I don't know if they're practicing for 420 early because it's not until next month, but they smoking something to come up with this title, bro. And I'm open to all opinions. I am. But I don't know about you guys. But to me, if John Cena goes to Mania and lose, it feels like after having the most historic heel turn in pro wrestling history and then turning around and losing at Mania, that will be a waste of a heel turn. I can't see why that will happen. And then the aftermath of that, people will feel like, oh, once again, Cody Rhodes got protected by Triple H in another situation where he should have lost the title. And this would have made sense. And if that happens, I don't know how they write themselves out of this. They can get every writer from Breaking Bad, from the first couple of seasons of Game of Thrones, you name it, and they can't write them out of this. So I'm interested to see what WrestleMania has to say. But anyway, before we get into this, guys, please do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. Let's get into it.
WrestleMania 41 is just around the corner. Without a doubt, the biggest match on the show is the highly anticipated Cody Rhodes versus John Cena match for the WWE title. The match is set to headline night 2 of the show, and all eyes are on the match, especially after Cena's shocking heel turn at 2025 Elimination Chamber. But with now fans split on whether or not Cena will walk out of WrestleMania 41 as WWE Champion, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that Cena will ultimately fail on the grand stage, and WrestleMania 41 will close out with the American Nightmare standing tall.
Okay, I'm listening. WrestleMania, you gotta really come up with something good to convince me. But at this point, I'm not sold on it.
But why? Here's why John Cena will lose at WrestleMania 41.
Alright.
Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. The heel turn. A lot of the discourse surrounding the heel turn has focused on whether or not the turn was a long-term plan. Some reports indicated that the plan initially was for Cena to turn heel at WrestleMania 41, yet WWE decided to pivot and go with the turn at Elimination Chamber. Whatever the case, the build to Rhodes vs Cena has felt extremely flat, and this is mainly due to Cena's poor justification for turning heel. Cena is claiming that the fans have always hated him and that this was his revenge, but in reality, it's been a long time since Cena was heavily booed by the audience. In actuality, the past few years have seen pro-Cena crowds, with all demographics heavily cheering for the former WWE champion. Was this just lazy writing? Were WWE struggling to find a justifiable reason for Cena's heel turn? Cena would also claim that he's going to ruin wrestling by winning the WWE title at WrestleMania 41, and the idea of this on paper sounds groundbreaking, but it does paint the idea that Cena won't win at WrestleMania. A wrestler with the goal of ruining the business, closing out WrestleMania as champion, would be an interesting move for WWE to make, especially having that chosen wrestler defeat the current face of the company. But another key factor in all of this is...
And I think that's the exact reason why they should do it. This will be an interesting turn of events and a twist that we probably wouldn't have thought they would have did before John Cena returned at Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry, guys. But it's like, I get that the timing of it is off, and the reasoning for John Cena turning heel is very paper thin, but at the same time, if he just said what he said in his promo, hey, you know what? I was what you guys wanted for a long time. I never got to be who I really am. And this year I'm retiring, and now I want to go out the way I wanted to go out, not the way that you guys wanted me to go out. And if that's the case, that makes sense. But to blame the crowd, and just like they said as of lately, they've been cheering John Cena. Even when they say John Cena sucks, it's just like when they say you suck during Kurt Angle's entrance. They say it, but they don't really mean it. They really love the guy. So I can understand where they're coming from with that.
The Rock. The Rock was heavily involved in the Cena turn, yet he has yet to appear on TV since the Chamber. The Rock was also completely retconned from the initial turn, and it was only until Raw from London that he was even mentioned. It's a little confusing as a viewer, and it could certainly be argued that The Rock wasn't even needed for the heel turn to go down. Now, there is still time for The Rock to appear on screen, and it will be interesting to see what he could possibly add to the story arc. Now, if the final boss does appear, he needs to address the relationship between him and Cena. What does selling your soul actually mean? How far in advance were he and Cena in cahoots? These questions and their answers will help round out the entire storyline, and in turn make the entire arc complete as we roll into WrestleMania. But the Raw from London show managed to build a feud in a much more impactful manner, with Cena and Rhodes having a back and forth mentioning taboo topics, including the downfall of WWE's popularity in the 2000s, Vince McMahon, and even Tony Khan. But even though Rhodes stood tall during the exchange, based on some of the comments that Cena was making, it would be somewhat backwards booking for Rhodes to now lose the matchup. The Acclaim promo segment from London acted as the prior face of the company versus the current face of WWE, and it was very much presented as a new era within the segment itself, with Rhodes addressing how the crowd picked him as a face of WWE, whereas Cena was simply awarded the prestigious title by WWE management in 2005. Some fans have theorized that the WWE will take the Rock vs Cena approach from WrestleMania 28 by having the prior face of the company win before the present face wins the rematch. Whilst this is a possible approach, Cena isn't wrestling into 2026, so unless the rematch goes down at SummerSlam or another significant event, then this seems to be off the table. And Rhodes—
That's what I was gonna say. They should just have Cody lose it at Mania and have John Cena probably lose it at SummerSlam or maybe at Survivor Series. It could be either way. But either way, the Super Saiyan Passer gotta lose this title at WrestleMania. He has to, bro. And like him having, he's at that point, he will have the title for almost, if not a year. What would be the reason for him to continue to have a title run? You know, I know we're talking about Randy versus Cody. I know we're talking about other things, but when Cody gets the title back from John Cena, Cody versus Randy can happen again. It could definitely happen for that title. And whenever that time happens, after he gets it back from John Cena, Randy could definitely win the title off Cody. You know, so I think it'll be more interesting for it to happen that way.
Rhodes vs Cena at WrestleMania will be a one-time deal. The major giveaway. A SmackDown from London's O2 Arena saw Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton embark in an incredibly wholesome segment. Anytime the former Legacy stablemates share the screen, there's palpable chemistry, and their real-life friendship is always apparent. In the segment, Orton would put Rhodes over as the face of WWE before shifting gears and saying that he was coming for the WWE title following WrestleMania 41. This segment would have worked extremely well. That's if it didn't take place weeks before WrestleMania. WWE are already moving forward with the idea of Cena losing at WrestleMania, and they're already planting the seeds for the rest of 2025. This segment would then be taken to the next level when the dastardly Drew McIntyre would interrupt. Unsurprisingly, McIntyre would also state that he's coming for the WWE title, and it appears that the WWE's two big programs set for the rest of 2025 are now Orton vs Rhodes and McIntyre vs Rhodes. The former of the two were once rumored to be the direction WWE were going for WrestleMania 41, but obviously that never occurred. Whilst the segment itself was expertly delivered, the criticism fans are offering the segment has a ton of validity. WWE basically told the audience that Cena wasn't winning at WrestleMania, as it would make zero sense to build two new programs if they weren't going to deliver them following Mania. Additionally, the segment highlighted the main issue with the WrestleMania build. Cena needs to be present on television whenever Rhodes is on screen. Rhodes is a marvel of a pro wrestler, and in the sense, he's been established as this guy that can build WrestleMania events by himself, but the reality is, he shouldn't have to. These are the most important shows of 2025.
And that's the thing I told you guys before in the other videos, is that Cody Rhodes, when he has these feuds, at the end of them, he's always on the brink of going crazy, brink of insanity, brink of the Super Saiyan Passer becoming a demon, right? And the only thing I think that seems to save it is the fact that he wins these feuds. So what if John Cena puts him on that brink and then takes the title away from him? And what will it look like for Cody Rhodes to lose all of that stuff and have every reason to go crazy? Will his moral values win, or will he succumb to the insanity or maybe the influence of John Cena trying to trick him into becoming who John Cena thinks he really is, this egotistic, evil individual? I think that's a more interesting story. I think Cody retaining and then just going after Randy and Drew McIntyre, those would be great feuds given the heels that are in front of him, especially when Randy does turn heel, but I think it'll be more interesting to have a story arc to make Cody's character, have more layers than just being this perfectly polished individual, right? And the whole thing with Randy and John Cena can happen at Backlash. It's at Randy Orton's hometown. John Cena versus Drew McIntyre can happen. Those would be some amazing promos. There's so many different things it can do with John Cena holding the title. I can't see Cody having a pretty interesting run after retaining at WrestleMania, but I could be wrong. You guys let me know in the comments what you think.
And Cena needed to be on as many as possible. The inevitable. Now, there's no way that arguably WWE's biggest babyface of all time retires as a heel, right? Whilst it's going to take solid writing and compelling delivery, a babyface turn does seem like a certainty before 2025 is over. Cena riding off into the sunset as a heel and being booed doesn't seem appropriate. But how exactly do WWE handle this? Does Cena realize the error of his ways and realize that the fans have always loved him, and the fans that previously hated him come to love him thanks to his work ethic? This could be a solid way to take the story. The likely direction is that the WWE and Cena explained that he was poisoned by The Rock and the final boss got in his head.
Shouldn't been drinking that Terramana. There's some voodoo in that yak, boy.
Once baby faces such as Rhodes and Orton made Cena realize the error of his ways,
I know it's not cognac, alright?
Cena knew that it was all The Rock's fault, and Cena turning on The Rock would receive a thunderous pop, and the fans would just eat it up. So if Cena loses at WrestleMania 41, does he still win world title number 17? Absolutely. As Cena winning the world title as a babyface following a complete character arc would be incredibly satisfying. Cena could even win the world title in his final match, and Cena saying goodbye whilst at the top of the world would be a fitting end to the career of a certified legend. The idea of Cena retiring as world champion would also act as a soft reset for WWE. They could then build a storyline around a new world champion, and with Cena's last scheduled date set for December 2025, they could even have the 2026 Royal Rumble for the vacant world title. This could work extremely well, especially with the 2026 Rumble being in Saudi and there being rumors of WWE taking a different approach with the event. The question is, who is a world champion by the time Cena wins the title? Logically, Cena should win it from a top heel. Does Gunther get the world title back and WWE delivers Cena vs Gunther in December? This is also a great option, as it may sound hyperbolic, but there's perhaps nobody on the roster in 2025 that could give Cena a better match than Gunther.
Alright. So in saying that, WrestleMania kind of cooked on this one. This one is actually a pretty good idea for him to retire as champion as the babyface, right? That would be a good farewell, a sad moment for all of us fans who've been watching during the Ruthless Aggression era. It would be. My only concern about that is if he decides to go over and face Gunther for the title, that's assuming that Gunther's going to beat Jey Uso at WrestleMania. I don't want to see Gunther get cooked by John Cena on the mic, bro. That's not going to be a good look for Gunther, unless he goes back to the Gunther of NXT UK where he was a mute, where he didn't talk. Maybe. But you don't want to get on the mic with John Cena. Not Gunther. But at the same time, you know, Gunther is probably the person right now who has the best possibility of having a great match with John Cena. Because if you pay attention to John Cena, even when he had that match against Solo Sikoa or when he faced Austin Theory at WrestleMania, he's not the same John Cena we used to. He lost a couple of steps. You know, he's not as strong as he used to. He's pretty solid, but he's not what he used to be in the past. And that's what happens with age. He can't help it. Father Time wins every single time. But I think, yeah, you got to have a match that guarantees that's going to be good. I would love to see him have a match against AJ Styles once again. I know we're not going to get that same exact 5-star match we got in SummerSlam a long time ago, but I think AJ Styles makes anybody look great, in my personal opinion. But I don't know, man. I don't know. And if Gunther retains, then that means Cody would have to retain. But if Gunther retains and John Cena wins it, are they going to have two heels as champions on both sides of the show? I don't know.
This was also a rumored match for WrestleMania 41, and some fans believe that this was the plan for the show. That was until WWE decided to go with Cena as a heel and have Jey Uso win the 2025 Rumble. But could WWE pivot? Whatever WWE have planned, it seems unlikely at this stage that WWE's former franchise guy.
Oh, I hate that spinner title. When he said that in that one promo, he was talking to me. I'm never going to not hate that title, bro. I hate that title. Please don't ever bring any. I don't want him. Bro, if he turned that World Heavyweight Championship into a spinning title or the Universal Championship into a spinning title, which I think he probably will, just to piss off the fans, just like Daniel Bryan did when he came out with that hemp belt, bro, I'm gonna be mad, bro. I really am. I hate that thing, bro.
I will walk out of WrestleMania 41 as WWE Champion. Naturally, due to WWE having no reservations regarding pivots when it comes to their booking, they could easily change their mind over the next few weeks. Cena walking out of Night 2 as champion would be newsworthy, but where did the WWE even go after that? Does Rhodes chase Cena to get the title back? We know that Cena is working Backlash 2025, but we don't know about any subsequent premium live events. If Cena wins, he needs to appear a lot more on television, as the entire arc and the win would be completely pointless. WWE don't want to go back into the state of play where Rhodes is the face of the company without a WWE title around his waist. Ultimately, all signs indicate that Cena is adding another loss to his win-loss record at WrestleMania 41, and as things stand, this is probably the most sensible call WWE could possibly make. What do you?
I don't know if that's sensible, man. They haven't sold me on this. They had one good idea with him retiring as a babyface, with the championship. but that still can be accomplished if he wins at WrestleMania. Like, I can't see how that'll work, man. I mean, you guys let me know in the comment section. How does that make sense for John Cena to lose at WrestleMania? I don't get it. I don't get it. Please let me know your theories. I would love to hear it. I'm open to anything. Nobody, in my personal opinion, has really dumb theories, but this one I can't see how it goes right with this whole thing. Gonna be so much backlash on Cody after this if he does retain it. Because as I said before, they're gonna feel like he shouldn't have retained it, and Triple H is trying to protect this man. So, and Cena's gonna be at Backlash. Cena versus Randy. People been wanting to see that. Cena versus AJ Styles. That gotta happen. Cena versus Drew McIntyre in a promo. That will be amazing. There's so many different things that can happen here with John Cena as champion. John Cena being champion brings back the fans who stopped watching it during their Ruthless Aggression era. They can come back and finally see John Cena as champion again. So I mean, that's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Salute, peace. Have a great day.